Hey, Witchin Wisdom Collective. So I wanted to open this message up with some face-to-face, so to say, contact. In that the message I'm about to offer you is really a story that came in. I actually pulled these cards Sunday. And like last Sunday, what is that? Sunday, it was in August, but it was Sunday, Sunday the 3rd. Hi, Bubba. And I'm just now noticing I'm recording this on the 8th. Interesting. So I pulled the cards. I sat with Spirit. You'll see from the shuffle that it was interesting. I kind of was like wanting a particular deck. And no matter how I shuffled that deck, Spirit was not giving me a card from it. So I stopped being resistant. I went with what it said. And I ended up shuffling on Monday. And you'll see that. I haven't decided yet, honestly, at the time I'm recording this. It's either at the beginning or it's at the end. I don't know yet. But anyway, you have access to it if you want to see it. When those cards landed and the cards that I chose, you hear Onyx. Onyx is like, the kids are playing outside. And my little happy dog is like, I want to play with them. But you can't. I got to pause and come back. So the pull was, I immediately could sense the weight of it, but not weight as in heavy dense, but weight as in layered tapestry, a story. And I decided I needed to let it sit. I looked through all of the oracle that came through and was like, okay, I need to really let this sit. And as is everybody else, the transits that we're all going through right now, well, I don't know that everybody else, some of us, thank you, goddess, have natal chart positions that we're getting hit a little bit harder. And as I mentioned in my last collective read, my Chiron in Aries retrograde in my birth chart is getting pinged pretty hard. So is my Saturn. This has been true for the last few years, but in particular 2025 kind of feels like it's like trying to make or break me. And so it's been a tough week to get to this read, but in that toughness, there were realizations that came up for me about beliefs that I've held about what it means to be a medium, what it means to channel. And they're belief systems based in thoughts that come out of patriarchy, that come out of whiteness, that come out of capitalism. So while it's been tough, and I don't know when is the last time I've cried the amount that I've cried this week, like wept as much as I've wept this week, I also am really grateful because at the core of me, I know that's why I came here. I came here to heal this, to be a beacon in this time where we're being told humans are just divisive, humans are just violent, humans are just selfish, and that's not the case. I know that in this lifetime, because of the people who have come and been supportive of me this week, this year, people that I've just met in 2025 have stepped up and loved on me in this beautiful way, to people who I've known and are loving on me, and so I've also known in past lifetimes that humans can be a different species, and at the same time I've held this grief over the fact that as a species we have not chosen to be balanced. And this was the week that I learned that was a grief I was holding, and in that grief I was holding it. And in holding it, I was holding myself back from being authentic, honest, showing up as my truest whole self, who is sad. I have so much grief because I know we don't have to have this world. that the stories we can create are so much more balanced. I'm not talking about false utopia. Humans are both shadow and light. And so we will experience both shadow and light aspects of ourselves. I'm talking about reality, a woven story about the human species in relationship with itself from a balanced place, in relationship with each other from a balanced place, in relationship to Earth from a balanced place, and therefore with the cosmos from our balanced place. So, as I was going through that on my own and realizing that my mediumship comes through that love, that if I wait until I feel completely clear and everything's great, I'll never give you another reading. And I have to actually, like, this is it. This is the medium you get through me. And I think this is what I want from all of you, of like, to give us, I want to give you the space that I want to have, and that is to show up authentically all the time with all the grief, the sorrow, the joy, the love, the contemplation, the curiosity, the judgment, like everything that we come through, that comes through us as humans, show up in that. But the agreement is that we show up. We show up and we make space, and that we don't believe that it takes fists to convince each other, and that we don't actually have to convince each other. So I'm starting to ramble at this point because I love telling stories. I'm going to get back to the reading of the oracle. It came through in this really beautiful story way. And at first I was going to tell it in a story way, but as I was going through and looking at how the oracle message is hitting the chakra points and the energy centers, I realized that I think it's better for me to go through them so that the multiple stories that are coming through can speak to people, because one part may be speaking to you and the other isn't. Remember, with Witchin Wisdom, what I'm asking people is to hold the energy and the space for this collective. When you're here, to know that because something doesn't speak directly to you, trust that it's speaking to someone, and we're holding that energy for them, because what is speaking to you may not be speaking to them, but they're holding that energy with you through this. I do think there's a through line through all of this. I know that the stuff that I've been going through this week, I finished channeling the message yesterday and had a massive, deep wound triggering this morning. And it was parts of the story that helped me see what was happening, sense what was happening, feel what was happening, and then sit with my higher self and sit with my spirit guide and ask, like, what, and move through it. Right? Move through it, and understanding of like something is getting poked in a way that my emotional response to this is out of proportion to what just happened. What is that? This reading is what kind of helped me. Not just this reading, just years of healing and paying attention to spirit, but there were things that came up out of this reading that is definitely helpful. So thank you for listening to me through this, and I hope that if you were here, that you get something out of it. Take care of yourselves out there.
Welcome, Word Witchin Wisdom Collective. This portion will be the sort of encapsulated story form of the channeled message. This channeled story is about what is happening for many of us now in the so-called real time. In the Northern Hemisphere, I channeled this and am recording this in summer 2025, August to be exact. And in the Southern Hemisphere, that's going to be winter 2025. Of course, still August. This is about healing and the journey to heal the deepest parts of the self through divine love and connection. This connects to the current energy that we are experiencing from the planets and the impact of retrogrades. This idea of revisiting energy, experiences, memories, wounds, trauma, joys, all of it, to further heal and release that which does not serve us. This is about the real magic of power within to remember, to dream, to co-create the next reality that is based in the inner knowing that a collective reality of harmony and balance with all energies on Earth and with Earth is possible. A fair amount of the channeled message wanted us, you, to know you are seen. Those who believe, who know they are a spirit having an embodied experience here at this specific time, in this specific life, having a soul's journey designed by the soul and engaged in communion with the higher self, both consciously and subconsciously. You are witnessed. Those that believe, that know they are here as a growing soul, perhaps to heal the self of this lifetime and past lifetimes, for lineages of this lifetime and past lifetimes, and for spiritual growth beyond just this experience. This is a moment in spiral time, an awakening, healing journey souls knew would arrive. Your divine selves are fully prepared to engage this moment. In the light and the shadow, and in the liminal spaces in between, know that your divine selves are fully prepared to engage this moment. You are remembering who you are and why you are here, and what is truly possible beyond the constraints of the construct of scarcity and limited beliefs that you've been raised in for millennia. Souls arrive here and are offered illusions of self and illusions of the dark. The illusions of self feed false perceptions that make invisible the power of communing with the shadow and the light of you, and make impossible authentic discernment through a false sense of disconnection from spirit and the magic of nature and energy. As your soul walks your path and finds that it longs to be seen, to feel the wholeness that it is, but this knowing, this remembering, this truth has been buried. Know that it is often in the so-called dark night of the soul where a gift is given. The gift of a new understanding of who you really are beyond the illusions embedded by the construct to power over and control your experience. It is in communicating with the self in shadow and light that you can find old patterns that really need to be healed and released in order to experience the harmony and balance that is accessible to the species. As harmony and balance grows, so too can communion and connection between energies. The connections you seek are soul with self, soul with soul, soul with earth. And in this, you grow your understanding of worthiness in self and others. You deepen your experience of honor and integrity. Your soul's journey is not just in the ethers, on the unseen third eye or crown. It is also a journey to wisdom found in the body. Remember, you are a spirit here gifted with the experience of embodiment, and there is so much wisdom to be found, experienced, explored from and within the human body. Deepening this understanding of the gift and the magic that the body is what grows awareness of oneness in spirit, crown and third eye, and divinity at the heart. Your soul's path with earth in the cosmos is your spirit being materialized. capable of power within that heals wounds in the self, that can release the veils of illusion of self and separation. Your soul's path is about remembering the whole of who you are, of spirit and earth, destined to explore the experience of embodiment in balance and harmony. All that you need is within you. The hardest part is allowing remembering to prevail and fear to be released. This channeled story is complete. My energy stays with me. Your energy stays with you. Unfettered and infinite love and gratitude. Hello, Word Witchin Wisdom Collective. So you've heard the sort of synopsis channeled story of the overall message. For those who are interested, I'm going to go through each oracle message one by one, because I think that it's a tapestry that's creating the whole of an experience, but we don't necessarily have all our experiences at one time, right? So I think by going through these individually, it might be helpful to folks. So I'm going to go through them in the order in which I felt moved to go through them. I'm basically going to follow the spiral of our chakra energy. It starts getting a little tricky because there's some overlap, but again, use your discernment. You can, move them around. I'm offering a channeled read of the oracle message in a linear way because that's what this portion is for. If you don't like linear, if you prefer more of a non-linear, then I would just stick with the synopsis story that I just gave you before this. Let's go ahead and jump in. We've got Oak here. I gotta move this so I can see what I'm holding in the camera. Oak sits at our Earth star, our root, and our sacral energy centers, and is offering the message of remembering there is strength and protection and good fortune to be accessed by leaning into one of the most sacred trees in the mysteries. Oak is said to be the magical door between worlds. It's landing at our Earth star and our root, so there's support connecting us to Earth's energy and providing stability and balance. Consider that as the oak stands between the worlds, as the sacred tree of the ancient Druids, so too does our sacral chakra energy, right? Creating connection through passion and desire between our root, our sense of worth, and our solar plexus, our sense of power within. From Oak, we move into an insight message for transmuting the eye of your eye and the eye of your third eye with a journey card of themes and patterns. And this idea of what's not working. For those who are into tarot, it's the equivalent of the devil. It's anchored in the root of us and dipping into the heart of us. Here we are offered the insight to explore the themes and the patterns that may be running scripts for what we imagine we can create and desire, as well as choose and generate. The story these scripts write, we are being asked to consider what is working and what is not working about them. Are they connecting us to our root sense of self? Are they connected to our heart space, our compassion, our connection, our empathy to and for others and ourselves? Let go what is not working for the core of you, for your creative self. Let go of that which diminishes your power within and your sense of empathy and connection. From there, we're going to move into this one here, shared space, and it's coming from this idea of unity. And this oracle message is speaking to our healing journeys as it relates to our inner child. It's situated at the sacral chakra the energies of feelings, creativity, emotional well-being, as well as the solar plexus, the energy of our sense of power within, free will, and choice. The oracle medium for this card itself offers that no matter how deep the challenges you face, you have the power to heal your wounds by sharing space first with your inner child, who is healing. And this will pave the way for you to blissfully share space with others. You can lean into your sacral chakra energy to support inner child healing. Through this gentle healing intention, you will start to trust your own perception and increase your discernment, cleansing and centering your solar plexus energy. Also consider another message here is to foster co-creating with your inner child to deepen your relationship with your power within and your creative well. From there, we move into an offering from our sacred feminine to lean into the energy of the sacral chakra that holds creativity, desires, passions, the power of emotions, and the solar plexus that holds your sense of power within. That to recognize that free will does exist, as do choices, to creatively imagine infinite possibilities of who you are, the path you are on, and anything else that is on your heart. From there, we move into this one, I believe. Yeah, solar heart. It dips into a little bit of the third eye. And it's called the Elven Ones, and it's about it's coming from a place of wisdom. So in this time of a dense patriarchy-based construct, your deepest self may miss genuine love and compassion in some human interactions. So landing at our solar plexus, so it, like here, it kind of lands at our solar plexus, and pinging our sense of power within and a power over reality and our heart center. It's really sitting on our heart center, pressing firmly into our desire to connect even in disconnected times. The oracle reminds those who hold the wisdom and memory that we are more than just this body. So call on the energy of the Elven Ones in these times of desire to commune in true love and peace. Deepen into your clear senses. Like, I think that's why it kind of dips into the third eye. Deepen into your clear senses to call in the memory of your magic to activate your light family, holding hands in a circle around you, right? To help you as you're going through your healing journey, your awakening journey, and those moments where you really need to be reminded that you are not alone. On the heels of that is another light family card, and that's Syrian Embassy. This is a cosmic energy being offered to all folks on this planet, and also perhaps it's more so available to those who identify with the term rooted cosmic soul, light worker, earth angel, healing healer, etc. Right? Put your phrase here, you know what I mean, because it's an energy being communicated through the throat chakra, siphoning. So it's like it's through the throat chakra, siphoning just a bit of the solar plexus. See here on the corner, it's kind of dipping into our solar plexus energy, to help you power up your heart chakra here and your throat, but to help you power up your heart chakra just enough to help it connect your lower chakras, that of earth and matter, and your higher chakras, that of spirit and ether. So some folks may not be aware, like there's a belief that your lower chakras sort of are that which really grounds you in the embodiment of this beautiful gift that is the body. Your higher chakras, so your lower chakras meaning root through solar plexus, your higher chakras are throat through the crown, and it's the heart that connects those two groups to each other. It's like the heart is sort of the liminal space connecting those two together. And through this connecting, a reminder is being communicated that you are not alone on your path, right? Sort of using the Elven Ones as a springboard. That, and know that there's nothing more you need to do to receive this reminder, this understanding, this magic, other than believe in it. Really, you're going to receive it anyway, but belief will help you recognize its arrival for what it is. A magical transformation of ego, an end to the illusion of what the dark is, and a clearer understanding of time. All of which is going to support your journey in this dense and shifting reality. From there, Spirit moved me over to this one, Unmask Your Darkness. And it's kind of, it's on the other side of the spiral. And remember, the spiral is a representation of our full energetic field and possibilities of chakras 0 through 8 anyway. And it's this message, it comes in here to help clarify messages that arrive from Spirit through our embodiment. It's here again is a follow-up message to us landing at the heart, right? It kind of lands at the heart. In some of the higher heart, kind of dips into some of the higher heart, and then also the throat, right? So it's communicating a similar message from the other side of the spiral, a consideration that the illusion of this construct has embedded in us about what the dark means. The Oracle medium offers this. The dark is so misunderstood, but it doesn't need to be. It is in the darkness that things grow and develop, including you. You are being asked to embrace your darkness as mother. The Night of Soul has secrets for you and is illuminating the truths you wouldn't be able to see in the garish brightness of the known. Landing at heart and throat, as did our Syrian emissary, but yet on the other side, perhaps the shadow side of the light of energy the Syrians offer, and also pulling in that higher heart. Right? A message to remember divine love for the whole of you, the shadow and the light. You are the gift you may be searching for. And from there, I move into, it's almost backwards. Remember, linear progression only as a construct is a lie. And Spirit told me to move into this one, which hits the third eye, hits the throat and the third eye. On the heels of two deeply loving messages, right? Asking you to remember how amazing you are, to remember the gift your presence is to your soul, your spirit family, your chosen family, to this moment of reality and to earth, right? Here in this moment comes a message leaning into our throat chakra energy of breath in life. Truth through voice and communication of feelings to sense and receive through your divinity, the whole of your worthiness. And what I really love about this card, you can't see it unless I hold it up here. These are the people receiving their worthiness and the, spirit, divine feminine energy. You could say the Syrian embassies, the elven ones are dropping this message and it says truth, right? And it's another way to speak to, we are in a moment where the illusions we have been living under are falling away. And it's mostly the illusions of self, who we are as humans, what we're capable of, and the illusions around the dark and what has been kept from us by telling us to stay out of the shadow of ourselves. To stay out of a balanced understanding of who we are and the healing that is available to us on both sides. And what happens when you don't access the full breadth of who you are. Next, I moved into, beautifully so, from this, I moved into this card, which is hitting the crown and the soul star. And it's the card of truth, right? And it's on the edges of our consciousness and energy fields. It's where truth slides in through our spiritual connection to cosmos and the bridge between our earthly embodiment and cosmic wisdom. So in the inner spiral where we were offered the rememberings of the truth of who we are, right? In here. The truth. Remember the truth of who we are. The truth that we are connected to the liminal because we are our earth roots and our cosmic crown branches. The truth of the power of our ability to hold and develop compassion and empathy as we develop our power within creatively. It does not have to be power over to the themes and patterns that do not serve us. Right? The truth of the power of the shadow, the so-called dark, to liberate us from the construct beliefs embedded in the human species for centuries. This is a message that is here to remind us that we are more than the lies being told to us. We are a species that can hold honor, integrity, and offer our most authentic self and find the liberation sought. Ashe. From there, Spirit moved me to this love card. In this beautiful way, a message from love arrives through our soul star and dips into our third eye. It's a message to remind us we are divinely connected and divinely cared for. On the current path being walked, lean into the love that already exists to peel back any layers the construct has forced or the surviving fearful self has taken on, so that you can see and sense the shift into worthiness. The light family, right? The light family that's coming in. The connection, the earth offerings available to you all day, every day. The elves and the magic that's coming in are present and available to you. And in that, Spirit moved me into Yeshe Sogal, and I'm grateful that this divine feminine energy, the energy of Yeshe Sogal, arrives right on the heels of the offered insight from love to peel back the layers, to explore the you that is. This includes the physical you that is, the gift of embodiment. For some, this idea of enlightenment is only housed in the ethereal, right, in the cosmos of who we are in the upper chakras. But this reading has offered the consideration of how important and necessary and worthy you are, not just as spirit, also as a bodied human. And Yeshe Sogal leans into our deepest knowings within the heart of our spirit senses and our deepest memories of our soul star records to remind us, as the Oracle medium shares, we are both human and divine. We are both mortal body and eternal essence that continues on. The body too often can be scapegoat for so much hate, distrust, and violence. The body holds infinite wisdom, pleasure, and possibilities. Thank you, Yeshe Sogal. And what's really beautiful is that this message culminates with this interesting light body card, and it's number 11. And it culminates at our crown and the tip of the higher heart. It's coming from the wisdom group. So, right. So, and this is the word Witchin Wisdom group. If anyone ever tells you spirit doesn't have a sense of joy and playfulness, disregard that nonsense. This includes insight wisdom offered here from spirit, and it closes out with a message, first of all, offering us the master number of 11, which is about spiritual awakening, intuition, and enlightenment. This is a reading for Word, Witchin Wisdom, right? We are on a healing spiritual journey, deepening our intuition, moving into greater enlightenment, and giving us this message at the crown, the lotus of spiritual connection, while dipping into our higher heart, the well of divine unconditional love. It's beautiful. It's a transcendence aligned gift to us, reminding us that the paths we have dedicated ourselves to be lighthouses, to be healing, to be loving, to be releasing, to be seeking, to be balancing, to be our fullest, most authentic selves, even in the face of a construct that seeks to destroy anything not of its imbalance. These paths will dissolve the veils of what we've been told of who we are, what we are capable of, and why we are here. Lean into growing wisdom at the crown to see past the lies. Lean into the love at the higher heart when along the path you may find betrayal, lies, grief. This too is part of the experience of this embodiment, and this too shall pass. And you too shall remember you are a being of the cosmos, of earth, of elements, of humans. This path, like all this work that folks are doing, whether you're only dipping into part of this, a small part of it, a big part of it, all of it. This path leads to seeing past the illusions and into the whole of who you are, where you come from, and that you are loved beyond measure. And I, for one, am super grateful to you for choosing the path, for heeding the call, for being a beacon, a lighthouse, for designing the journey that many after us are going to follow. Because, look, this construct is falling. The entirety of this construct is falling. I don't know when, but I know that it is falling. And the question is, what is it that we want to rise from the ashes? Do we want the phoenix that represents a balanced human, that is the divine feminine heart leading the divine masculine head, that is the human experience in relationship to itself, to each other, and with earth, that which rises? I know that's what I want. And I think those who would listen to a message like this want that as well. So thank you. Sending so much love out into the world. Deeply appreciate you each for, as you walk your path, you help me walk mine. As usual, infinite and unfettered love and gratitude. Welcome to Word Witched Wisdom. I've pulled the cards for our session today. I don't know what they are, but when I was sitting in the space to gather myself and my thoughts and my heart to kind of let the energy come in, I distinctly heard, I want to tell a story. So there's definitely some energy around storytelling. It makes sense given the messages I've been channeling for Broom Closet recordings around this idea of the power of stories and what does it mean to create our own reality, our own perception through the stories that we allow in, through the stories that we ourselves create, through the stories we tell ourselves, we tell each other about who we are, what we're capable of, what is possible, all of that stuff. So I'm not surprised that that came through. I'm also a storyteller, so yeah, thank you, Spirit, for that, for helping me further clarify or affirm my purpose, rather. And let's get started. I'm going to move cards around as much as I possibly can with my eyes shut. I know the decks, so I don't want to influence where they fall, but I don't know the specific cards, but I'm going to make sure that each card has its own space on our spiral chakra platform. And then that way we'll read it through the spiral of energy and as it flows out. I'm at the edge there. Let's see. Trying to make sure nothing is overlapped. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, for giving us the story. Okay, I think we're set. I'm going to open my eyes. Okay. Wow, these cards really wanted to be together, huh? Okay.